One of my favorite holiday gifts to make is a box of assorted greeting cards. It's always useful and never interrupts anyone's diet plans. Greeting cards are a perfect gift for neighbors, teachers, the babysitter, and of course, friends and family. The new stamp set Vogue Vases 2 by Theresa Momber is the perfect set to create an all-occasion box of cards. Today I'm going to show you a simple little card layout that you can use to mix and match images and greetings from this set to create your gift. Let me show you the tools and products you need to make this gift set. First, you're going to need some pattern paper and cardstock. The pattern papers that I'm using are from the Gina Designs Poppy Prints collection. Then I'm going to use some of the Gina Designs heavy base weight white cardstock for my card base and some of the 80-pound cardstock for my focal image. I'm also going to use some of the red hot cardstock for layering and a little bit of the satin polka dot ribbon in red hot. Then I'm going to use a Memento Tuxedo black ink pad. I have a few Bic Market markers here. This is Cloud 9 Gray, Rambunctious Red, and Summer Melon. I'm also going to use a Quickie glue pen because I'm going to do a little bit of paper piecing on these projects. Then you're going to need some dies. I'm going to use one of the classic ovals dies by Spellbinders, and this is from the large set, and also the Lacy ovals. Those coordinate nicely together. I'm also going to use some adhesive and scissors, and then, of course, the beautiful Vogue Vases 2 stamp set. Now, one other thing you're going to need for this particular project are some clear boxes. And at Gina Designs, we have clear boxes. They come in a 10-pack, and they come unfolded, so you have to, well, they're flat, and you have to puff them up into the shape of a box. And then they also come with these little clear stickers. So once you've filled up your box with cards and envelopes, you can seal the edges with these clear stickers, and it makes them look a little bit more professional. So for those of you that sell your card boxes and cards at craft fairs, these are really nice for that. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to start by creating my focal image. And I'm going to do that with my piece of white cardstock, and also I have a little scrap of one of the pattern papers from Poppy Prints. I'm going to grab this vase here, and I'm going to stamp it in black on both the pattern paper and on my piece of cardstock. Next, I'm going to stamp this pretty bunch of flowers. They look like little daisies. I'm going to stamp those right onto my vase. I'm not going to worry about masking or anything like that because my paper pieced vase is going to go right on top. So I just want to position my flowers where I want them. And now my flowers are coming out of my vase. Now I'm going to color these flowers in. I'm going to start with the Summer Melon, and I'm going to color the petals of the flowers with the Summer Melon, and then I'm going to color the insides of the flowers with the Rambunctious Red. And that will play off nicely with the pattern paper that I'm using. And you can be very creative with your coloring. You don't necessarily have to color things the real colors that they would be in nature. You can play off of the colors in the pattern paper, which is what I'm going to do for the leaves on these flowers. I'm not going to color them green like real leaves would be, but I'm going to play off that beautiful bluish gray that's in this pattern paper pack, and I'm going to color the leaves gray instead. And that will tie the pattern paper all in with my colored in focal image. I really like these little Bic markers for coloring in these detailed stamps. They're not very expensive at all. You can get them in our Amazon store at stamptv.com, or you can get them in your local office supply store, but you want to get the ones with the real tiny, tiny little tip because they can get into the most detailed little areas. And if you're a little bit shaky with coloring, these are a nice way to start because they are alcohol markers, so they're nice and smooth, but they're not very expensive. And so here I'm going to color the leaves. Just a little bit of that gray. I'm not going to color all of them, just the wider ones. The other ones can stay open. So there we go. Now next, I'm going to cut out my vase, which is very easy to do. These are so easy to cut out. They're super, super simple. So there's not a lot of curves and angles on them that you have to get into any tight places. So they're really, really nice for paper piecing. And for those of you who never know what to do with all those scraps of beautiful pattern papers, but you don't have the heart to throw them away, and I know what that's like because I'm one of those people too, this makes great use of those beautiful scraps. Okay, so now using the Quickie glue pen, I'm just going to start it off to the side here to make sure the glue is flowing. And I'm just going to color in all around the perimeter of the vase and then just scribble some glue on the inside. This is a great tool to use for paper piecing. Super simple. And then just pop that piece right on top. And there is my paper pieced vase. Now my next step is to cut this out using the Nestabilities die, and I'm going to do that using my Cuttlebug. I'm going to start with my A plate and my B plate, and then lay the image on top, and then center it in my oval, and then the C plate goes on top, and I'm going to cut that out. And while I have the Cuttlebug here, I'm going to also cut out that pretty lacy oval using a piece of Red Hot. Again, A plate and B plate, and then the C plate on top. This one sometimes can be a little bit tricky to pull out, but just jiggle it a little and it'll be fine. And there is my lacy oval. So now I'm going to create my card layout. I'm going to add a piece of that pattern paper to a red panel, a Red Hot panel. And this is going to be the background that that lacy oval is going to sit on top of. There we go. Just center that. And then I'm going to add a little piece of ribbon just across the center. I'll trim that down and add a little bit of tape to the back. Now you'll find that in the Vogue Vases stamp set there are so many beautiful greetings to choose from that you can really do a complete collection of all occasion cards. You're not going to be missing much. All right, and then this panel is going to go on top of that white card base. But first I'm going to stamp the greeting. I always like to stamp the greeting first before I glue everything together. Just in case I mess up, I can use these pieces for other things and I can quick make another card base. So I think for this particular one, I will make it a happy birthday one. So I'm just going to turn that greeting upside down. and then stick it to my block. So now I know it's not going to be bent. It'll be nice and straight. Okay. And then I'm going to add the greeting right down here in this corner. Just a little happy birthday. Now I can place that panel on top, and because the greeting is there already, now I can kind of space evenly between the top and the greeting, and it'll give it a little bit more balance. So let me add some tape to the back of this panel and add that to my card base. There we go. And then I'm going to adhere this oval onto my scalloped Lacy oval here. And I just want to kind of look all around and make sure I've got an even border. There we go. What a pretty focal image. Love that vase and those flowers. It's so happy and bright and cheerful. And then that whole thing will go on top of that pattern paper panel. And there, that is a quick and easy card to make. And it's still flat enough so that when the person goes to mail these cards, they're not going to be stuck with additional postage or anything like that. But there's still a lot of interesting stuff going on. Let me show you the different cards that I created using this stamp set. For this particular one, I used the smaller vase and the same sprig of flowers. So that made it a little bit different, and then I added the happy birthday greeting down here. I added the hello friend greeting to this one where the happy birthday greeting was on this one. And then I wanted to create a little bit of a simpler version without using a die. So I made this birthday card, and I just cut this out using my paper cutter into a rectangle, and then did the same thing with the panel behind it. So I have a happy birthday, a hello friend. I also have a congrats, and this uses the same layout as the one that I demonstrated for you earlier. Let me see if I can lay these out a little bit better here. There. And then, for my last one, I used a different vase, but that same pretty little sprig, and I made a Get Well Soon card. So that is a nice assortment of cards. Happy birthday, hello friend, congratulations, and get well. And here I have a few of the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury white envelopes. So I have 4 of them, and along with my 4 cards, I will put those into a clear box. So let me grab that clear box and put it all together here. I'll assemble it. And then I'll place my cards in here with the card showing in the front away from where it's going to fold down. So this way they get a nice full, almost like a full window view of the card without anything interfering. You don't have these little flaps on the front. And there is that box, and you can see it. It looks like there's a nice chunk of cards in there. It fits really nicely. And then I have a little bit of our double-stitched red ribbon. And this just makes a nice little accent that you can tie around the card. I'm just going to tie a knot. And of course you could make a tag to match if you want using the Vogue Vases set and add that onto the ribbon. Or you can include another greeting card, a different card with this. Or you can just give it just like this. Take it to your neighborhood holiday open house and give it to the hostess, or give it to the babysitter when she bails you out in a pinch when you have to go holiday shopping. You can find these clear boxes in both medium and large, along with the Vogue Vases 2 stamp set in our store at ginakdesigns.com. The medium clear boxes will hold 4 to 6 cards with envelopes, and the large boxes will hold 6 to 8 cards with envelopes. Some of it depends on how thick your cards are. So get an early start and have these beautiful boxes of cards ready in plenty of time for the upcoming holiday season.